Yuba-Sutter.Live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and recall it back to open session. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome, thank you. So there is one request to move some things around. Student reports. Oh, sorry. There's nothing to report out from closed session. And we'd like to just move student reports up before our two other board meetings that we have. So if there's no objection to that, we have finals tomorrow.
Oh,
Good?
yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right, who wants to go first?
Are you ready for your finals?
Next question. So, Yuba City High School, we have finals this week. It's like pretty chill right now. Honestly, not that much. We had like deck the halls, just like to kind of decorate the halls. It was pretty fun. We also have we had some like movie nights for clubs. I know Spanish Honor Society Club had it. Senior class had some movie nights. Just like some quick fundraisers from the clubs, just end of the year stuff. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. We're kind of chill right now.
May I ask what class won the Deck the Hall?
I think it was...
Wasn't it student services?
I think it was student services.
Student services, but there was also a class one.
It was probably the seniors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the juniors, I guess.
Will you be going for hot chocolate tomorrow morning?
Where?
Cocoa and Cram at the high school.
Oh, they might not know that.
I didn't know about that.
Yes, they did.
Well, I'll be there. I'll be pouring hot chocolate, so come see me.
I'll see you.
All right.
Thank you.
Of course.
All right, Chris.
Yeah, same as him. We don't have too much going on. We had our winter festival last week. We had about 15 or so clubs sell something, have an activity. We got a big snow globe. We had our mascot dressed up in Santa, and then we have finals Thursday and Friday, and then we'll be giving out snacks to them with the little stickers on them like we do. And then tennis at the Sacramento Kings game got featured on the big screen for winning sections.
Nice. Cool. Thank you.
All right. Well, good luck with finals, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm so sorry. Do you have the other agendas?
Oh, I have them.
You have all of them? Oh, can I borrow them? Okay. All right. So can we go ahead and reset? Or we're gonna recess to the annual organizational meeting. All right. Do I have to do the open thing too? Okay.
No, you can go ahead and just go to the action items.
Okay. All right. 3.1, election of officers.
First position would be the president.
Okay. Is there anyone wanting to make a nomination?
I would like to nominate Harjot Kaur.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay. There you go.
That was us. Okay. So then next would be for vice president.
A nomination.
Second.
You're clerk.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. And then clerk.
I nominate Mary Lee.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, it's hard. It's so
I'm
hard.
so sorry.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Pardon me?
On first by Londa and a second by.
Colusa.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, adoption of the 2026 YCSD board regular meeting schedule.
Yes, so I just wanted to call attention to the proposed schedule of meetings. The 3 months where there would only be one meeting would be July 28th, 2026. The November meeting because of the Thanksgiving holiday, and then the one meeting in December. So just want to call attention. And the December 15th meeting, 2026, will not fall on either the Tuesday or the second or fourth Tuesday. And the reason is because of the timing of the need to have the reorganization meeting. So there's a ed code that requires.
And so will that have any impact, any negative impact, or that takes care of the issues with new elections and all that?
Yes. As hope with the caveat that everything's been recorded and so yes. That's the issue with that.
Can I get a motion?
Just 1 second, please, because I'm looking at the November is there a reason why the 2026 November board meeting is a week earlier than this year?
This year, I believe it was pushed back. It should be the second Tuesday. Is it not?
The one for 2026 is the second Tuesday.
Correct. This year,
It's the third, and since it's the only one that month, why are we not putting it in the middle?
the reason that this year was the third month, if I may, is because the 11th was a holiday. It's Veterans Day, so we moved it back, the board meeting back for 2025.
I see. Okay.
Veterans. There's no other questions on motion to approve.
I move that we approve.
Or I need a second.
Second.
Okay, on a motion by member Dami and a second by member Bonsler. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Registry of Public Agencies. Yuba 3.
Yeah, so this would just authorize me to submit once the organizational meeting has been finalized and authorizing those who can sign for warrants, etc.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
On a motion by member Dami, second by member Lamb. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Designate a liaison to the UC Charter School board meetings.
I'm going to stay on Twin Rivers.
I'd like to see on Yuba City Charter School.
Okay, I nominate Mary Lee Bonford for Yuba City Charter School.
Second.
A motion by member Dami, second by member Ciola. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. 3.5 for Twin Rivers.
I nominate Mr. Quilty.
Second.
On a motion by member Dami, a second by member Bonslet. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Authorizations for signatures on warrant orders, contracts, and payroll.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
On a motion by member Dami, second by member Ciola. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, information.
Yeah, so I just want to remind the board that as elected board officials, you are required to fill out the conflict of interest form 700. So I just publicly making note of that.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect.
I'm so sorry.
Alright, next board meeting will be in December 2026 for the organizational meeting. And let me get a motion to adjourn this one.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
A motion by member Dami, second by member Ciola. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. And that will be the end of the organizational meeting. Recalling to the regular meeting. Perfect. All right. Reports and information. Park Avenue School Showcase.
Thank you. And so, as requested by the board, each of our schools has been coming to present the things that they've been doing, all the wonderful things. And so tonight we have Principal Victor Aguilera and Assistant Principal Narissa Woods and the crew who are in the back.
Way in the back. Good evening, everybody. How's everybody today?
Great.
Good. A little nervous, but good. So just a little presentation regarding Park Avenue and what makes Park Avenue special.
Wait, you're an elementary principal and you're nervous of us?
Yes.
That's crazy.
You guys are a lot taller than the...
We're sitting down. Sorry.
All right. So our vision and mission statement, we just renewed these 2 years ago, I believe it was. So vision is, as lifelong learners or students will develop the confidence, skills, and perseverance to choose their future and become thriving, contributing members and leaders in their community. Just some fun facts. The school opened in 1947, so we celebrated our 75th year about 3 years ago. School colors, blue and gold. The school mascot is Panthers. School was recently painted in 2024. It used to be green. Don't know where green came from, but it was green.
It looks
amazing compared to its old
Probably.
colors.
So the last couple of years we've added a couple of new murals, which that is one of them in our cafeteria, and then that is the one on the side of school. We have enclosed hallways as an older school. It's just one thing that makes us unique. Until recently, some classes used breakers as light switches, so that's been updated, which is nice. We're the first school in the district to have a book vending machine. And with our focus on Avid, Wednesdays are College Wednesdays. Another tidbit is just that we do have several staff members, many here today, that were actually former Park Avenue students. So a lot of our staff comes back.
Wait, are those pennants the schools of your current staff or your alumni that currently attend?
Both and neither. That's just part of our college awareness. And so that's why we put that up for Avid.
Oh, I thought it was personal.
Also, along our hallways, if you guys ever come to visit, we do have display cases with each of our teachers, and they have pictures of when they went to college and their alma mater. So pretty neat. Demographics: we're roughly about 523 students. We're lower right now just because of our migrant population that does tend to leave around the holidays. We're a high Hispanic population with over 80% Hispanic, over 54% English learners. Those are the languages spoken at Park Avenue. Any questions so far?
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, ma'am.
But please tell me if you want me to wait. You talk about the population, and obviously Park Avenue has a unique population with the migrant community. How does that affect your ADA? Have you seen it impact your ADA as well?
Yeah, it's just yes and no. So usually the ADA is factored in a little bit sooner than when the students leave. So that hasn't affected it too much, and most of those students do come back.
Okay.
What's been affecting is just like any other school in the district where enrollment's gone down a little bit. That's been what's affecting us, just like anybody else.
So the capture dates are
Correct.
okay. Thank you.
Our SIPSA goals to increase academic achievement in all areas. That all of our English learners will progress one level per year. We're always trying to find ways to increase our parent and student engagement and involvement, and that students will come to school and have personnel that supports them academically, socially, and emotionally. Over the last several years, and I'll explain a little bit more on this as we go through the presentation, our staff focus has been really heavy on Avid strategies and implementing those worker strategies in our lessons. big emphasis on reading and phonics and improving our quality, the quality of our first instruction. The last year, we started focusing heavily on writing opportunities and increasing those in the classrooms. And this year, we started focusing a little bit more on math, and I'll get into those a little bit. But above all else, we've been pushing our staff to be more creative, get out of the textbook, and really meet the kids where they're at, and just try and find ways to connect the material with what they need to learn. So we have had some growth. If you look at the dashboards, and thank you, Tina, for these slides. In English language arts, we ended up 8.5 points. If you look at, well, right underneath where it says increase 8.5 points, you can see over a couple of years ago, we were red, then moved up to orange, and moved up to yellow this last year, so we are seeing a steady growth. In math, we were in yellow a couple of years ago, dipped orange, and then we came back a little bit. We're hoping that's going to go up a little bit more this year, just with some of the instructional strategies that I'll talk about in a little bit.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
I was recently at a REG committee meeting, and I was told something I didn't know was true, and you can either confirm or deny, was that there's intervention for kids who struggle with reading, but there's not really much math intervention. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So a lot of the after-school interventions that we have, and also in school, has been heavily focused on reading and just a little bit more on writing as well. And that's just been a school-wide focus, partly. Okay. The other thing is just teachers tend to be more comfortable in English than in math for the most part. But again, we are transitioning into that. So.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
No. This one is something that we're really happy about. Is we had over a 10% increase in our English learner progress. And again, if you look at it from a couple of years ago, we were in the red, then orange, and then jumped to green. And I'll explain why I think this happened. If you compare us to other like schools, there's 21 similar schools in California. In the academic areas, so again, the English language arts, the math, and the English learner progress, we're looking really well. Science, we're kind of in the middle of the pack, something that we do need to work on a little bit. And then the other areas that we do need to focus is on chronic absentee rate and our suspension rate. As of right now this year, if we can continue the way we are right now, that suspension rate should improve this year. The chronic absentee rate, there's a lot of factors that go into that, and right now kind of what we're seeing is also with the migrant population, we have a lot of students that go out for a week or so, and that drops their attendance. Also our lower grades, so like TK and K, those are the areas that affect us more than any other group. So.
Have you have you looked at those individual groups to see how much they affect? Because your migrant population is only 7.8%, right? Aggregate of 533, so they wouldn't have that much.
No, that was just an example of things that factor into it. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, the biggest groups that do affect our grades, and we check this even on our monthly attendance reports, are those lower kids. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we have several other little pockets here and there, but for the most part, those are the big parts that affect us. Again, AVID has been a big factor in what we've been doing the last couple of years. If you're familiar with Wicker strategies, which are the AVID strategies, we think that is been something that has really led to our growth in English and with our English learners, because part of that is they're practicing their writing skills, their inquiry skills, the collaboration piece is huge, and organization and reading go with it. So our goals have been to increase the rigor, having all teachers teach phase 2 and phase 3 note-taking strategies, so not just learning how to take notes, but how to use them for studying and everything else. And then, of course, just increasing parent participation and, like I mentioned, building college and career awareness. You guys will be seeing a lot of slides with these kind of pictures, just because we have focused heavily on reading and trying to find ways to engage students and make it funner for them to read. So we have, like I said, the first book vending machine, and that's one of the main things that we reward kids with is with coins so they can get their own books, and we do fill it with books that they're really into. So there's like Five Freddy, those kind of books, and just different books that they're into. And we do get a lot of bilingual and Spanish books as well for our students. This last year, with some of the CSI funds in particular that we had last year, we focused on professional development, especially on the writing process. So we brought in Lanisha Tab and Meredith Lynn Scott from Right Brain to work with our teachers and really improve our writing instruction and finding creative ways to get students to write more. So with Right Brain, they're able to become published authors, and that picture in the middle is a picture of a young lady who was reading her story to myself and Dr. Wallace. Lanisha Tab made the connection of the reading and writing, and she really stressed the importance that strong readers may not be strong writers, but strong writers are strong readers. So that's why we're really focusing on that writing piece as well. Yeah, more updated pictures. And again, the last few years, we've invested a lot of our funds as well into updating our library, bringing in a lot newer books that are, that the kids really enjoy. During Read Across America Week, that's one of our biggest pushes for literacy. Several of you have come out to read to our students, and we appreciate that and encourage anybody else to come out. And we also have several of our former students that are in the community to come back to read to us as well. So. But what really makes Park Avenue special is just that we really try to focus on serving the whole child. Our staff truly puts the kids first, and we celebrate and try to build cultural awareness in everything we do, from bringing bilingual authors to having presenters come and work with our groups of students on how to handle conflict, to just the food that we serve in our cafeteria. We always have tajin and Valentina available for our kids, and just like that picture on the left corner, our kids love to make to put that stuff on our fruit, and they get mad if they can't find it. So again, just celebrating culture and that awareness is something that I think we do extremely well. And again, we've been trying to be as creative as possible and making learning as fun as possible. We feel that the more the kids are able to talk to each other and explore, the better that they learn. And yes, we do celebrate when they get goofy. I mentioned earlier about our English language progress, and I think it's like some of these pictures, if you guys noticed the collaboration that's going on, the communication between the students, I think that's been a heavy contributor to their success. We also do a lot of different events for our parents to be involved. From literacy nights to daddy-daughter dances, coffee with the principals, different celebrations. Last night we had our band and strings concert, and all of our activities and events are highly, people come and they really fill up the cafeteria or the school for all of our events. So we have a wonderful parent resource center with activities daily for parents and community members, from English classes to story time for pre-K students, for art for kids, and art garden as well. Just some pictures of literacy nights, and you mentioned focus on math, and we are planning a math night as well this year. So.
Yay.
But again, we can't do it alone, so we do try to recognize our community partners and welcome new partners as we go. And looking forward, we're trying to really expand our enrichment opportunities for our students too. So not just focusing on interventions, but trying to expand the knowledge for those kids that already know what to do and try to build some excitement for others. So last year we partnered with the agency that came out and had the students create that design and taught them how to silkscreen shirts. We have photography after school. And then we also recently purchased 2 3D printers. So we're creating a digital media art program. The goal is that hopefully once we get it going, we can even hire some of our more advanced high school students that are doing that as well to come work with our program after school. We build some excitement there. So again, these are just the areas that we're going to continue to focus on. A lot of it is the stuff that we're doing now, but just keep working on it and keep elevating from year to year. And how can you help? Continue funding updates to the school. Like I mentioned, we are an older school. We always need stuff to improve the school. And I welcome and invite all of you to come out to visit to really see what Park Avenue is like. We really are a family. We really welcome everybody in the community, and we have a lot of support from our community. And long term, ideally, we would love to have a dual immersion program at Park Avenue. So just continue to throw that message out there. And again, what makes us special is our focus on our kids, families, community, staff, and our celebrations. I love this.
When do you have time for?
Anytime.
You tell me tomorrow. I will be there tomorrow.
Yeah, you're welcome tomorrow.
Did you say when do you have time?
Yeah, like, I don't know if they're doing like activities or whatnot. Or like assemblies and stuff, it's just, I don't want to interrupt.
But even if that's the case, you're more than welcome to come and see that as well. Tomorrow we're doing our sing-along for our first, second, and third graders starting at 9, 10-ish.
Okay.
But if not, you guys are more than welcome to come anytime. We can walk around.
She would be happy to lead the sing-along.
After doing.
They haven't practiced much, so they'll welcome to join us.
I've toured the campus 2 times now. And he's always very welcoming.
Yeah.
So he won't bite you if you come knock on his door and ask him.
Even Laura will call him and try to schedule time for Doreen. I'm like, well, she can come whenever she wants. She doesn't need to schedule an appointment; just show up.
Yeah,
so,
great school.
How do kids get books out of the vending machine? Do you have Panther money or something?
So that's part of our PBIS program, and we have every month. Every teacher gets 3 coins, so they're able to pick 3 students for various reasons, and that's how they get the coins.
And the coin is what gets them a book?
Correct.
Oh, very cool.
Correct. Yeah.
So I have a question. What is a dual immersion program?
So dual immersion program is it's a program where they tend to start off just in whatever other language other than English. So, for example, for us, since we have a high Hispanic population, like kinder and first grade, we would start a program where they just spoke specifically in Spanish at that grade. And then as the years go up, then you start, combining both English and Spanish. So by the end of elementary, you have students that are fluent in both languages.
So what are the benefits to that as opposed to teaching them in English for a greater pickup of the English language at that young age?
Yeah. So for us, for example, one is that as younger students, they're able to learn a lot faster than others, right? So if we can teach them young, then we have bilingual students, along the way.
So people who don't speak English to be immersed into a Spanish-speaking.
It's both. Yeah.
So
it wouldn't just be for Hispanic students. It would be open to all students. So I've seen other programs where you have have students who are African American, who are Asian, who are whoever, and they're speaking Spanish fluently and things like that.
The data on it's pretty astounding.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they already have a 50.
And that's the other thing. For us, for example, it would be beneficial because since we do have a high EL population, we have a lot of students that come to us with no English whatsoever, and then they get thrown into English-only classes. So if they were able to go into classes that spoke some Spanish, then they would feel more confident and comfortable, and then they can pick up the curriculum a lot faster.
Well, yeah, and studies show, Kirsten, that when they can read and write in their native language, it transfers to English much quicker than if they are just having to be immersed in English only.
I haven't seen those studies.
I've heard of other communities around us too that do have dual enrollment. Dual immersion, sorry, not dual enrollment.
Sacramento.
That's the other end. Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
I think it's like Williams or Willows or something.
They have them all over.
They have them
Yeah,
all
all
over.
over.
Lincoln. They have
Yeah.
them every place.
It'll be interesting to see.
I think
stats.
Colusa does too. Does Colusa do a
Yeah.
dual?
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Just something I would love to see. So again, just welcome to our Panther family, and just any questions.
Thank you so
How
much.
would we support you in the dual enrollment?
Dual immersion.
Stop it.
I am off today. I'm so
That
sorry.
is something
I
else.
think we're too young for dual enrollment.
I know. I'm
Pretty
so
cool.
sorry.
Though.
I'm so sorry.
Again, just being open to the idea of starting to look into it, because it is a long process. You have to have the right personnel. We have to select curriculum. We have there's a lot to it.
Okay.
It's not just hey, let's just start it next year.
We're not gonna do it
That
tomorrow.
really,
Did we
that's part of
have a dual immersion class at Lincoln?
We did not. We've been exploring the opportunity to do this, and we've not been able to because there is a lot to it, and then also just the resources can be limited. But it's amazing to watch their programs in action. So, but we have not implemented one.
Okay.
And for example, like my own daughters, they understand Spanish, but they're not comfortable speaking it. But then I have a niece who is in a dual immersion program, and she speaks too much sometimes, but super fluent in Spanish. So it's just nice to see. So.
We just have to see.
We have a question in the back.
But you have to ask the president, Jordan.
Sorry, hi, I'm Nurse Lawson, this is the principal. And really, we have quite a few students who come who are already literate in Spanish. And so then they come and they feel completely illiterate, right? Because we're asking them to read in a language that is not their own. And so it's really good academic support as well. So at the end, you have entirely bilingual, biliterate students who are both academically and socially bilingual. So it really does foster a community in which at the end of the time of their K-12 education, right? We push that seal of biliteracy, etc. That is easily accessible when you have programs that help foster that love for language and growth. And really hone into those literacy skills, the ability to decode once you know one language, and then two, really just improves. So that's another part of it. And we have, like I said, students who are able, even in younger grades, and we have the majority of our staff are bilingual and biliterate, and they do speak to their students in their L1 language.
I believe it.
So it's already happening on a smaller scale, so it's just putting it into practice formally.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you, Dr. Avenue staff.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
And again, I just need to say thank my staff for being here. All of the growth, it's all to them. It's all to them and their willingness to try new things. It's amazing to see veteran teachers actually trying new strategies and being excited about it. So kudos to the team. So, thank you.
Thank you.
You're doing something right because you've got your staff that came here with you. That's pretty awesome.
They're going to make me buy the drinks for us.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for coming.
Yes. And thank you for inviting us to your read Across America weeks. I love that. Awesome.
Thank you, everybody.
Have any time? We'll love it. Well, come book in hand.
Yes, take your own book.
Yes.
Because when I went and did it, nobody told me I was supposed to take my own book, so I had to go to the library.
Oh man, no.
Okay, moving on,
Oh, my pride and
community
prejudice. Here we
day
go.
school instructional grants waiver.
So this is a public hearing.
Okay, we'll open the public hearing.
So at our Discovery Day School, Community Day School, like our other school sites, our comprehensive sites, and YCA and Albert Powell, we have early release Wednesdays for staff to collaborate together. So in order to do that at our Community Day School, we have to provide a waiver. It's 360 minutes per day. So this waiver would allow us to provide 16 days of either professional development or collaboration time for our teachers at the Community Day School. It would add those other minutes to the other days of the school year. So we already do this at our other schools, but for this specific Community Day School, we had to do a waiver. It's a unique requirement.
So there'll be an action item further into the agenda.
Any questions? Nope, closing the public hearing for that. Okay, now, any questions about that? Nope. Okay. School fleet electrification study.
All right, Julie, come on. Okay, so first of all, I don't know if everybody has met Julie Guerrero. It's our Director of Transportation, and we have been looking at electric buses for a while. We wanted to talk to you about it, and I know this could be a discussion item for the board, so we're looking forward to just presenting some information. And then ideally what we want to do is get direction from the board, because whether to move forward in this direction or not. And so that's, the direction we're looking for. What we're going to present is the feasibility and the economics of converting a portion of our fleet to electric buses. So you'll see actually at the top of these slides MB5. So MB5 is the consultant that we worked with for the solar project to help us analyze kind of just a third party, not a vendor. Really, this is their expertise in these types of projects, and so they have a certain division that has expertise in the electric buses. So again, the goals are just to look at what this means as far as bringing electric buses into the school district. Right now, there are grants available to move this forward. There's laws right now that require us to go towards electric buses. There's two laws specifically, Assembly Bill 579 and the Advanced Clean Fleet Regulations of California. And we'll kind of get into what that looks like, what the actual regulations are in the next few slides here. So really, the requirements are for both the school buses and our white fleet. So our white fleet, our trucks, our cargo vans, basically most of the things on the right over there. For the school buses, AB 579 governs that, but by 2035, all new school buses just must be purchased with zero emission technology. White fleet, so white fleet, over 8,500, which is basically a good portion of our fleet for most communities, is required to purchase 50% of your new purchases have to be electric. We are in Sutter County is considered a low population area, so we are waived for that for right now. So we don't have to buy 50% of our vehicles electric right now. But starting in 2030, 100% of the vehicles that we purchase will have to be electric. So
35, right?
35. It's 2030 for the white fleet, what we consider white fleet. Light duty vehicles have to be 100% by 2035 for the school buses.
If AB 1111 doesn't go through, is that what you're saying?
I'm saying the current law in California governs that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And you're right. There's a lot. I think what you're implying is there could be some changes here. There could be, absolutely. There could be.
But I get it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of like though, we kind of got a little bit behind the curve on the solar panels. It was kind of like a time crunch. Okay, we got to do this now because it's really coming down on us. So what you're presenting to us is let's get ahead of that.
Well, so I would say right now we're probably middle of the pack, maybe a little even behind it, but maybe middle of the pack. So it's kind of, I don't really have stats on that necessarily. But but yes, there are laws that are regulating that we go towards that, and there are significant grants available right now. My experience with these types of things is there's a period where there's kind of the carrot, right? The carrot is the incentives to make things happen, and the stick is just the laws are the laws. You have to make it happen whether you have grants or not, right? So on both the solar and the solar we were kind of tail end, but we got the most preferential grants, so that's what made it economically feasible. With the electric fleet, they are significant grants out that we're going to go through right now, and I just don't know if they're going to be around in the future. And so that's where we're at.
And Shelley, we gave direction to Julie not too long ago about applying for one of the grants that was expiring, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Right? Just to save our spot type thing.
That's
right?
exactly what we did.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see anything on here. So we asked NV5 to help us kind of develop a transition plan. So we looked at a 15-year transition plan. What is the cost of doing all this? Is it feasible, operationally feasible? Are these buses, is the technology, do they cover our route? So we'll kind of go through all that. And then what's the infrastructure to make all this happen? This is just a makeup of our current fleet. So the left is the white fleet. And so altogether, we have 130 vehicles. There's 116 that are actually in this analysis. 70 of them are the white fleet, and then we have basically another 46-ish in the buses that are included. Some of the reserve buses are older technology that we're going to decommission anyway, so we didn't include all the vehicles in there because a number of them will be going away. But this is just the general makeup of our white fleet. Cargo vans, pickup trucks are the largest. On the right-hand side, Type C buses are our largest, and then Type D buses. Is also those are our two main types of buses. Type C buses are the
Type C are the conventional style, the shorter wheelbase, fewer passenger capacity in there. The Type D are referred to as pusher buses, rear engine buses, transit buses.
Larger.
Yeah. Primarily our fleet. We run primarily the Type C buses. It helps us with a lot of curb-to-curb transportation and getting into kind of tighter spots.
So this is the big grant that's available right now is the ZESB grant, Zero Emission School Bus Infrastructure. So this is, we have applied for this grant. We have been accepted to this grant. We'll go through the economics in a minute. There are other grants. There's a PG&E grant to help with infrastructure. I would say kind of partially applied, but we need to get direction from the board to move forward with that one. There may be some other grants. Some of them just kind of come up quickly and then they get, then they run out of funding quickly as well. So there may be some other grants, but the big one is the ZESB grant. So the economics of it, really the potential incentives on the right-hand side there, so up to $9.4 million in ZESB grants and basically $355 to $360 per bus, plus another $75,000 per charging unit and an additional 10% of that for additional costs associated with the program. The PG&E up to $600,000. This is again not guaranteed. We aren't guaranteed on this. We actually would have to sign a contract to move forward with that until we get some board direction, we're not moving forward with that. That would be next steps. This is just what it would look like to implement all this. So it is still a process. It would take, roughly 18 plus months to go through this. But we have planning and design. Then we're, contracting to get the infrastructure in and purchasing buses. So it's a roughly an 18-month process to 2-year process until they're actually operational. This is a little bit more on the operation side of things. Each one of those bars is a route. And so we have the left-hand side, the longer bar, part of the graph is the Type C buses, and then the larger buses are on the right. And essentially what it's taking a look at is the miles that those routes are, and then the capacity that our buses have. So at basically 80% of a charge, let's see if I'm getting that right, covers the, is it the red line? Yes.
Yeah, orange line, yeah.
Orange line, right.
So basically, we're showing a cushion, basically.
Yes.
The buses have a charge rate of 135 miles. We have a cushion of 80%, give or take, driving habits and the range that you're going. So you may that range may be taking up. So we want to consider variables in that route as far as we can go on a single charge.
And this is only one point, and then I'll hit you.
That's fine.
This is also doesn't consider a midday charge, which you can absolutely do. So if we have a bus that is little low, or we had some extra something going on, you can always midday charge these, and we're not doing our entire fleet.
Which
we
you would
know
have
we're
to
going to
do
need.
for Type D.
What's that?
Which you would have to do for some of your Type D as a midday.
Yeah. So again, yes. Or that could be a combustion engine route. Again, we're not doing the entire fleet here. So, but I guess what that's showing is the green is the max capacity, the 80% line. Yeah, it's going over the 80%. If we were to operate it like this, I would absolutely hook it up between AM and PM route.
Yeah, you'd have to, right?
You wouldn't have to. It shows you can make it, but I would do it. I don't want to be caught on the side of the road, right? So we do it.
Well, and if it's colder or hotter,
What is
it
the
turns
time
on.
frame for it to recharge? Like if you do your morning route, you come back in.
Under 2 hours is what we were told.
Yeah, based on the charger type, you want to get a higher kilowatt charger on there. So we call them DC fast chargers. So you would be about a 2 hour for
getting up to 80%, I think, is what we're.
Scared me. I apologize for that, but to finish the route, to complete it, we'd need about another hour. But to give you, I think it was about half of full capacity. You need 2 to 3 hours.
And what about field trips?
These routes do have that accumulated in them. The 140 is an average over the year, so some of those have been factored in there. So a lot of our home to school routes on a route, these are on an average. So on field trips, primarily, we have the other 2/3 of the fleet that we would likely, until we get accustomed to the charging capacity and any type of a mutual aid on other school sites that might have charging capabilities, we would use our diesels.
And we recognize that is going to be an absolute necessity, especially for longer either field trips or sports or whatever. So we're not saying let's go 100% electric. That's not what we're saying at all.
What is so he shows the cost of for a new bus. What's the average? Do they give you an average lifespan for the initial battery? What's the cost to replace that same battery? Is that battery warranted for 5 years, 10 years? How long is that battery?
So I believe 10 years is what we're modeled into here. And actually, so on the top of my head, I don't have the cost. It's modeled in here on the next slides here, but it is modeled into this because we know that it's absolutely a cost.
Yeah.
For a battery?
To replace it says right here, $607 $37,000 in battery replacement costs for the 2026 buses.
But there's 19 of them. It's 19. It would be
Yeah, that's 19
batteries.
buses.
That's not the cost for each, that's.
Yeah, so there you go. So it's on the slide right here. This is the economic slide anyway.
So about 32,000 per battery.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Come on, Scott.
You got it. So this is a busy slide. Okay, I'm just going to start with the middle gray slide. So this is basically the cost of the cumulative cost, but year to year and then cumulative of different scenarios. The middle dashed line is not even a scenario we can currently do, and what that is just replacing our buses with diesels. Now, we've already talked about the compliance part of it, that we actually won't even be able to do this unless the laws change. But that would be almost $18 million over a 15-year period, cost to purchase, operate, upgrade, replace our buses through this period. The top line is that kind of dotted line, is if there are no incentives whatsoever for electric buses, and we were just going to do this, that's what it would cost. Now, that's not a reality either. The green line is what we're proposing. It is, it's actually a methodology of getting, it's really less than 50% of our buses at the end of this 15-year period would be electric. It's a combination of buying, again, an initial investment of 19 buses plus the infrastructure, and then we have a combination of buying one electric and one combustion over a number of years. So I'll show you that on the next slide. But the bottom line is, even if we have the option just to go diesel, this is a less costly option. Yes, can things, this is newer technology. I mean, when I say newer, we're not early adopters of this. We're on generation 3 and 4. There are a lot of school districts that have been doing this for years. And I'll be honest with you, some of those early adoptions were a little rough. Technology's been getting better, and so that's where we're at right now. This is the white fleet. There's really not a lot to look on this, to be honest with you. I just had them, we're not even in this analysis. We don't even start, going electric in the modeling until 2030. I'm kind of going to skip this one. This is the bus part. So this is what I was talking about. The initial is 19 buses, and then 2 buses a year, 1 electric, 1 combustion, for the next up through 34, and then 100% of them after starting 35 have to be electric. We have an infusion of 4 buses in 38. That's just based on the age of our buses.
Is it safe to say that a lot of our diesel buses have seen their better days?
We're pretty much end of life on most of our buses, except for some of the ones that we recently purchased.
Right. Yeah. We have close to half of our fleet are over 20 years old right now. So those are where we would be looking at first to replace.
So that was always going to be one of my questions is what's our average age of a bus? And then, so age-wise is one thing, but the other question would be how many miles typically total does a 20-year-old bus have?
250, 300.
And is the diesel engine in my mind? That's what I hear. That's the diesel engine should be getting warmed up in a sense.
Due to the maintenance that we have on there, our buses, run pretty darn well. I do want to brag about that program that we have with our maintenance on our buses. That we seldom have any breakdowns on the road, and so they're well maintained. Cost of the parts is another consideration, and availability of the parts has been difficult.
The availability has been some of the.
So I'm sorry, what did you say the average mileage of our current fleet is?
250, 300.
About 250 to 300. Yeah.
Thank you.
Now so we're purchasing diesel buses at the same time that we're purchasing the.
That's what this model is looking at. It's 19 initial, and then over the next 8 or so years there. We're doing one of each.
So 2035, we can continue using our diesel
Yes.
buses. We just can't purchase any more diesel
That's
buses.
exactly right.
Well,
Right, the law
that
is-
could change though, honestly.
It could. But the law is that what the law states is that by 2035, we can't purchase any diesel. It makes no reference that 100% of our fleet needs to be electronic.
Right.
It's just on 2035, our first purchase, all of our purchases there on out need to be electric.
That's exactly right.
Julie, can I ask you a question about the diesel buses? Are they kind of like our cars, where they're getting like computerized and stuff? Is it going to be harder for our maintenance department to maintain them?
You mean electronic?
Electronically, yeah.
Not necessarily, no.
So they're not, how
Correct,
how I talk about a car and it's
right.
Even though they're gas operated, they have so many new parts that it's getting harder and harder to maintain.
They are pretty standard, pretty manual.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so we're not
So
seeing
it's
a
very
lot
similar.
of,
Tech upgrades, but I imagine the electric will require all new training, all new. Is that also factored into the cost of the equation? Because I didn't see that on the previous. Because whenever we introduce something new, it's going to come with new certifications and new trainings, et cetera, for maintenance and for drivers, et cetera.
Agreed.
Is that included in this?
It's not included in that, but that is absolutely a factor that we know will be part of this is training of mostly our mechanics, but maybe I don't think there's a lot of operational from driving the buses, but there could be some.
right, because of the high voltage, our mechanics aren't allowed to touch a lot of that, and they have to go back to the manufacturer or have a vendor send out somebody for that. They are vendors, and the manufacturers are providing training at no
imagine.
cost. Yeah.
Oh,
so
sure.
that at this time. So our mechanics have opportunities for training, on-hands training for what they can touch on buses.
Are we supporting them getting that training as fast as they would like to get it?
We're waiting for, if we are moving forward with this, to provide them with training. Yeah.
Back to the batteries, with that projected cost of $637,000, is that today's dollars, or are they accounting for inflation?
Right.
So the actual money will be 10 years from today?
So it is accounting for escalation in all costs. So what I mean by that is, actually their assumptions take a look at rise in electric costs, but I think the 3% is on that. The cost of gas escalating at 2% a year. The cost of both the vehicles, so the electric buses, they actually assume those costs will come down over time as they produce more. The diesel bus costs are expected to go up. So, and the battery are also escalated in there as well. So all these are looking at future costs with escalation.
Estimate future
costs.
costs.
Estimates, absolutely. Oops. What happened here? I had one more slide there.
So what do you guys need from us? This is not an action item. They
aren't done yet.
This is it. I mean, this is the last page that, defining, essentially, in our research, our due diligence, working with NV5, and also just Julie and team and I actually have gone down and, kick the tires of some of these buses. Some we like more than others. So we've had drivers actually drive them, out and test them out. We've been looking at this for a little bit, and so we're just again looking for direction here because our estimate is that we have a requirement not to be 100% electric by 2035, but to start moving it in that direction. To do that, it takes time, it takes planning, so you don't get hit all up front. We'd like to take advantage of the incentives that are out there right now, and I don't want to be caught, at some point in the future where we don't have infrastructure and all these things, and then we just have to start doing it. So that's where we believe, the path is to start implementing it, not to go 100%, to start taking advantage of these grants, and by the way, it's going to save us money.
What is another question I have? What's the difference of weight between a diesel bus versus an electric bus? Is there big difference?
There is a slight difference, and the electric buses are heavier. They're slightly heavier.
Defined slightly.
I don't have the.
We can get that information to you about it.
I'm just wondering, I mean, you know, in reality, obviously I know they're trying to push towards electric, but when I hear more weight, so I'm going to think probably go through tires more often, would be my assumption. And then just also,
Especially on our roads.
yeah, and then with our beautifully maintained county roads and city roads, you know, are they going to tear up the roads that much more too? I'm just wondering.
Well, the roads will probably tear up the vehicles.
Well, or
Probably
combination
both.
Yeah, probably both. In reality,
Probably
actually.
more for electronic than diesel.
Have you not thought about holding off until we have an election next November?
No.
Because I hear that the people that politicians and things that I've talked to, that this could totally be scrapped.
And I've heard the opposite.
I think the main thing is, are we doing it for our benefit, or are we doing it because, like, I hear you, totally hear you, but the question has to be: is this in YCUSD's best interest economically, and not in the grants, just the grants, right? Because that's public money coming back to a public institution. Okay, but also the fact that does it make long-term sense with the fail rates that electronic buses have versus what our fail rates? What is our out of commission rate currently on diesel buses? Like, that's the thing, I think, overall. Instead of just saying, well, we want to comply with the law, because complying with the law is, like Scott said, not until 2030 that the next time we buy a bus, it has to be electronic. But if it is in our economic best interest with all of those factors, considering all those factors, which I understand the purchase and all of your things purchase-wise, I love those numbers, that's great. But I don't see anything in here working in the fail rates.
I'm not sure how to equate that. It's an unknown factor of what those fail rates might be.
Well, there are averages all over. There's averages, and statistically.
Those averages are all actually kind of old. I mean, this technology is moving along so quickly that you can't look at fail rate averages of 5 years ago and have them have anything to do with what's going on
Well,
today.
I love that. That's perfect. That's an awesome point. Yes, you're absolutely right. But then if that's the logic, then logically, since the technology is moving by so fast, I totally get it, then what would be the benefits in getting the technology now when in 5 years it'll be even better?
Right.
Well, why get a new phone now? And
I
not wait
haven't.
until
This is 5 years old.
Right. Okay. But we have these incentives now, which I think would behoove us to take advantage of. I think we'd be a little irresponsible to let these go by and not take advantage of them, because I really don't see that returning to diesel is actually ever going to be something that we do. I think the future is zero emission, and I hope it is for our kids so they can have some clean air to breathe. But I think that's the way it's going personally. So,
right.
I think we should move forward when we have these incentives available to us.
Batteries and buses.
And then these 19 buses that you guys have purchased now, and these are replacing the decommissioned ones, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's buses that already aren't working, right? Am I getting
They're on their last legs.
Or the 11 that are not in the tally to begin with. They're not working at the moment.
Correct. So the replacement, the buses that are scheduled for replacement for these, if this happens, is buses that are spare buses. They're not our buses used for routes.
On the regular.
Yeah.
So the way
they're
I see
in
it is,
addition.
if we're going to replace those 11 buses to begin with, might as well trial the electric ones.
So then why not the 11? Why the 19?
Because of the incentives.
Yeah.
Well, right, but how long are the incentives? Like, are they giving it, like, what are the boundaries or the stipulations of the incentives?
Sorry, we were having a sidebar up here.
That's fine.
Yeah. And what I was asking, I don't know the answer off the top of my head, is we did apply for the 19, and so I don't know if we can change that. We might be able to.
But yes, okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
But we want the 19, so what are the stipulations as far as the deadlines of purchase?
So we're there. I don't know.
Of the grant,
so it would be coming up soon. I don't have an exact date. We are in Part C of ABC. C has C has 3 portions of it. So it's in ZESB approval process. They may come to C. Let's say, okay, you're approved for Part C1. Now you have 90 days to move on to Part C2, which is now procurement. So it's
They haven't
for
given
them
us,
to give us
a
that.
hard date yet. We're in stages where we're going to have to. They're going to give us a deadline soon on exactly when we have to have purchase orders moving forward.
And if we don't buy the 19, if we only buy the 11, do we like I said, the stipulations of the grant are?
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if we have to do a new grant, with a lower amount, or if they can just allow us to modify the existing. That's what I don't know at this time.
Any other questions?
So many.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to actually maybe get the board to give me a direction one way or the other, the majority of the board at this point.
What specifically?
To move forward with.
Because we've already applied for the ZESB grant, right?
I'm looking for direction from the board to move forward with the initial stage is the 19 buses and the infrastructure to go along with that.
To start getting bids.
So would you like us to be polled?
I think that would be, at this point, since this seems a little divided, that would probably be a good idea.
So basically, you just want us to tell you whether or not we want you to go forward with vendors and bids.
That's correct. The next steps would be getting board approval on the costs associated with all this.
And you're saying, in your professional opinion, we have the liquidity to float this major purchase in
Yes.
our.
That's what I'm saying with the grants. Yes.
So Scott, may I ask a procedural question?
Yes.
So are you needing board direction at this meeting, or can it wait until the January meeting?
Yes, I think we can wait. I don't know. I gotta be honest with you. I mean, I don't know if.
That's why I'm asking you, Julian. You don't know?
No, their decision could come overnight.
And then you have how many days
There
that
should be a
respond?
90-day.
We'll have time. We'll have time.
90 day to
The
complete
reason why I
next portion.
ask is that because it is logistically, or in terms of procedurally, because you're polling and because this seems to be such not a uniform,
Sure.
that it would be probably better to take a formal action in the January meeting regarding this topic, because I hear dialogue and I'm concerned about, polling actually may look like an action
Sure.
item, so I would prefer that it be agendized as an action item so that the full board can be polled.
I think that's a good idea, and I'd also actually welcome if we get additional questions answered. That would be great. So if we can, so I'll put some information out where if you have some questions, we'll do our best to get that information to you. Yeah.
My questions would be with regards to how long does it, what are the costs involved and length of time to get all of our drivers certified, because that will be a thing and is a thing, maintenance, etc., all of that.
Sure.
In addition, that those costs are also included together with the fail rate, even if it's not 5 years ago, just the current bus system's fail rate and what that would look like. I don't want to be accused of going in this with rose-colored glasses.
I hear you. Okay,
Thank you.
we'll get more information. I'll put something out so you can formulate your questions a little bit more.
So the other thing though, because I want to clarify is though, and I get there's a lot of things that could happen in the future.
Yeah.
But in terms of purchasing, let's just say no grants, but you have to outright purchase and put the infrastructure in place, how much time do you
2 years.
usually need
I
to
need
do
2
that?
years.
You need 2 years.
2 years.
Great question, thank you.
A random question, just since this is new technology. Do they have a guesstimate? Because I guess this would probably be a real guesstimate on how long do the charters last for?
That could be a great question we get answered. I don't know the answer to that.
I mean, because I think it's probably all such new technology. I don't know if they really know either.
Yeah, they may not.
You know, I mean, and then what's the replacement cost of one of those?
Sure.
You can call Williams School District. We talked to Williams School at all?
Initially, when we were
Because they have a
look at
bus
their
sitting there
right.
that's dead already, one they're not even using.
Julie's been in school districts that have already implemented.
No, I know, I just
school
was saying
buses.
about
I'm just a-
Williams,
so-
I know that
Williams.
it's set and they didn't use anything and now they have to get a new charger and a new something else for the bus. It's set.
But doesn't Roseville have the electric buses?
Yeah, but Roseville's way closer, it's not like rural.
No, I know, but I mean,
I
I'm
mean,
just,
it's got
but
more
Like
close.
the distance. They did struggle with software technology. We didn't implement a software program where the charging was difficult to manage, and so that is definitely something that would.
so that would require training.
Yeah.
The
Software programs is the installation of it,
Okay.
so you're not having to. In the middle of the night, make sure your buses are still charging.
And I'll be honest, we're not trying to go into this with rose color. We're asking these hard questions of other districts that have done this, and some of the things that I have heard is not engineered fully between the chargers, the software, the bus, make sure everything's compatible, not having a cohesive plan to do that. And that's where you got to do a lot of this work up front. And to be honest with you, that's why we're working with an outside consultant to make sure we don't make some of these fundamental errors. Of not having it planned out well, right? You know, so
Which is one of the reasons for my reticence of like the huge, well, I understand financially, I get the numbers, I get that, at least the primary purchase, but there's a difference between the purchase cost and just the cost, the operational cost and the running cost, right?
yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest
Also-
with you. I think we captured most of it, but we're going to answer any additional questions you have on that. So.
And then, but then there's the, then there's the training of the people and then the actual operation, like what it looks like in the field. And when you're doing a major dump like that of 19 brand new and everybody has to be trained on it. And I know there'll be certifications and there'll be things they can't touch until they're certified and then the cost of certification. I know it's all a big mess and a grift too, but regardless, that's all part of it.
But it would be good to know how much is included in the purchase. What all is included
Sure.
in the purchase of that bus? You know, what are they including in terms of the charging stations and the installation and training, all of that stuff? Is that going to be included?
No.
And what's that?
The training.
Yeah.
Part of it will.
Yeah, I would imagine it will, and I'll find out
Okay.
definitely. But I do know for the buses, our mechanics will be sent, and it's offered training, on-hands trainings for what they can touch. And as far as the drivers go, we don't perform any maintenance on there. Their proficiencies would be done in-house by our instructor. Those that are proficiency training, it's just how to maneuver the bus and where the switches are. And we do that with our current buses. It would be, just similar procedures, and it wouldn't require anything outside of our department to train our drivers as typical.
What's the side-by-side cost of electric bus versus diesel bus?
There is our electric buses right now are about 450. Our diesel buses are 200 to 250. So they're still a significant. Yeah, depending on the make and all the bells and whistles. If we
But again,
equip them with
that's
extra.
kind of why we're trying to strike where the grants are there, because we got $350,000 per bus in grants right now.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that part.
Yeah, which that's the Zesty thing.
Oh, that's right.
So your all-in cost would be about 150 then, is what I'm hearing. for a full big bus?
100.
About 100, 120 for some of us.
That's why they want to take advantage of it now.
Okay, so if you guys have any other questions, please email Scott.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you.
Alright, moving on, we got consent agenda. Any questions or can I get a motion?
Yeah, I just have a couple of questions on it. Do you want to take the questions?
Yeah. Questions? Which ones?
All right. Okay. The contracts and agreements, H, from the district office. Line number 1, B26-00595, Americus Healthcare Staffing. So healthcare staffing.
So one of those is for an aid on the bus that goes to Rising Star to support our kids who go to Rising Star. That's the first one.
So that's not, so we're paying $48,000 a year for somebody to ride with somebody to NPS.
Yeah, it's a challenging group of students on the bus with different multiple behaviors that need an additional adult to support that.
For just the drive.
For the drive to pick them up, to drop them off at the school site, and to pick them up, drop them back off.
That's how it.
This isn't the bus driver. This is somebody else on the bus.
This is on the bus. Yeah, or the educator.
And this is something that we're legally obligated to provide.
Yes.
And this was, and it's a health care thing.
So
It's through a state.
Tina, if I can interrupt, we don't have anything to bring to you today, but we're actively working with our labor partners on a job description within the district that would take place of that position. We're just not quite there yet, but we anticipate that that will be a district personnel, a district service, and that within that job description, they can provide other services beyond just that transportation piece related to behavior and implementation of behaviors.
Okay.
But till then, we do need someone to make this students' needs.
So right now, they're not staying out there at the school then? They just ride the bus, that's all they do?
Right now, they support the behaviors and needs within the bus.
Okay.
Okay. For the drive there and the drive back. Okay. And my other question is, can you shed some light on Point Quest? What we're, this is a $42,804. This, I'm so sorry, forgive me.
Which one
This
is
is J. This is a totally other agenda item, but it's under consent.
That's a non-public school, Tina.
J, this is the moving from Rising Star to Point Quest. Is that it?
Yes.
But it's a fiscal impact of $42,840 increase to go to Point Quest over Rising Star.
This is the student who's currently at Point Quest getting additional services.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
the other-
I must be
You're looking at
thinking
the
K.
one. Yeah,
I'm
so
thinking K.
Can we go to K? So we have 2 students at that school. Their needs were not being met at that specific school site, Rising Star. So we had to look at a different placement for those 2 students.
Okay, but I don't see a fiscal impact. Is it because it's
because
the
we already
same?
approved it earlier, in July 22nd.
Okay, so
There's no
K.
K, yeah. So there's no. It's just like wash. There's no fiscal impact.
But it's a new contract with the new non-public school.
Okay, so, and the services, so then, but if we already approved it,
They're going. The 2 students we approved to go to Rising Star initially in July. They've been at Rising Star. Those 2 students, their behaviors were not their needs weren't getting met there, and so we had to look at different options. So we're going to put them at Point Quest.
So you're approving the new contract with Point Quest.
improving the quality of education, but it's making no
fiscal
impact.
There's no fiscal impact, but we're asking that you approve the contract with Point Quest.
Okay, and then the fiscal impact of, J is $42,840. dollars of, because this is a new student attending, because that's the total, it's,
Their services are going to total up to that amount based on the contract.
Not the addition.
Yeah, based
The
on.
addition isn't 42,000, and it's,
Yeah, the projected estimate is up to 42,000. That's the projected, based on 153 days.
based on
estimated to
basic
70.
education and related okay.
Okay.
So we're not approving a brand new contract, it's just the addition of,
Specific services that are in addition to what it currently is, what we currently have, yes, up to $42,000. So with.
up to $42,000 total.
Yes.
Not addition.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, that was a little confusing for me. I believe that is all for me. Thank you, Madam President.
Any other questions? If not, can I get a motion?
I move that we approve consent agenda.
Second.
On a motion by Member Pretty, second by Member Bonslett, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Action item A, expulsions, suspended contracts, readmissions. Can I get a motion?
I move that we approve as discussed in closed session.
I'll second that one.
On a motion by Member Pretty, second by Member Quilty, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. B, CSB delegate nomination.
It is not in the middle of the presentation, so I brought this forward at the last board meeting, and in reviewing, Member Bonslett would like to submit an application to be considered for a delegate representing.
Yay. Who?
Ms. Bonslett.
Yay,
So
free
if
cheers.
the board approves, then she will submit an application for consideration. That's cool.
I move we approve.
Second.
Okay, on a motion by Member Ciociola, second by Member Lynn,
Doing a
all
lot
those
of
in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
Exciting.
Request for community day school instructional minutes waiver, what we talked about earlier.
Yeah, so we're requesting to submit a general waiver to the CDE to approve the Discovery Community Day School instructional minutes. So the students will still be receiving 64,896 instructional minutes, 96 minutes above. It'll allow us to have early release Wednesdays to align with our other school sites. So we seek approval of that, to submit the general education waiver to the state.
Any other questions? Nope.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
On a motion by Member Quilty, second by Member Ciociola, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. D, first interim financial report.
Yes.
Get more of me.
Let's go.
Is this different than the actual financial report?
It's different, it's the first interim.
I'm just giving you a time limit, Scott.
Hey,
No, there's no
I'll skip it
time
if you want.
limit on fun. Let's go.
All right, I'll do what I can to shorten it.
Don't do it.
It's rough out here. All right, you've seen this slide before. We are here, first interim December. I just want to bring you. You're going to start looking at the top of the bottle. January budget comes out. The governor's budget comes out in January. That's when we start all our budget planning, and so the cycle starts again. But we are at your first interim budget update. This is where we have the most relevant information for this school year. In June, we're doing a lot of projections. Now we're doing less projections, which makes the numbers better.
Wait, I'm confused by the order of these bubbles. Shouldn't that one be next to first interim?
No,
What?
because that's last year's.
So this is what. So yeah, that's actually a great question. So this is one.
Don't sound so surprised.
So, this is one budget cycle, but we have many budgets. We have often three budgets or budget cycles that are overlapping at one time, right? So this is, we started back in last January for this budget cycle. We got a new budget cycle that we're starting off. This is the time of year I start going crazy because I'm thinking about we just closed, we're in this budget year, and I'm looking at the next budget. So I'm in three budgets at one time, and the numbers get a little.
That is a true statement.
They get a little mixed up.
Can we talk to the state about that? This is
Good
terrible.
luck.
Really?
This is a slide I showed in June. I'm not going to go over it too much. There's a couple things I just find interesting. If you don't know, 98% of the state budget is spent on schools. That's good. It was supposed to be a minimum guarantee, but right now it just seems to be the maximum that they'll give schools. So that's a little frustrating from time to time. Frustrating. the entire dollars going towards school in 25-26 is $4 billion less than it has been in the past. That is basically indicating that not all, on average, enrollment is declining in the state. And then the state has used the rainy day fund for schools to fund ongoing expenses. That's a frustration for us financial people, because typically that rainy day fund is actually for a rainy day. And we have some deferrals in this budget, meaning that they're not going to give us our full June payment until July. That's not a big deal, but if that gets worse, that does become a big deal. We've had this in the past where they're deferring 20, 30, 40% of our dollars, and we have to make payroll. That's hard to do when you're not getting the dollars. So, but we don't see a risk of that continuing too far. So, what's going on with our revenue side of things? From the June presentation, our LCFF, the main form of funding, is at $165.5 million. That's up about $747,000 since then. Two things are really hitting that. Our COLA, we were projecting at 2.3%, came in at 2.43%. A little bit of an increase there. And our unduplicated count has increased less than 1%, but that's adding to it as well. Our unduplicated count is our students that low income, foster, English learners. We get additional dollars for those students. We have some one-time revenue that we put into the budget at this point. A lot of this is carryover. We close the books, and we have some funds that we did not spend last year that are carried over into this year, so we add that to the revenue. And then we also have some one-time funds in the revenue side for the Learning Recovery Emergency Block Grant, which is under $1 million there. And special education, is an expensive program, and so those costs were estimated to be over $28 million now. The unfunded portion of those costs were estimated to be over $28 million. Now it's down just slightly from there. But I do also have to say that this is a pretty large increase over last year. We projected those numbers for needs. We're going to be up about $4 million this year, so now they're up about $3.5 million this year. On the enrollment side, because that drives our main revenues, I say this every time, don't mean to be a broken record, but it's just important that we continue to focus on this. Our enrollment trend over 10 years is down. The good news is we're down 45 students.
How many did you project it would be down?
Down 135. So that's the good news.
Yeah.
Yes.
90 students more than we thought we'd have.
100%. So that is good. We want to see more good news like that. I'd love to see this, flatten and maybe start at the increase side of things, but that was better news than we were expecting. So.
Good.
So just a question on that. So then when you look at 24, 25, 26 with them, it almost leveled out, like statistically, right? For those 3 years, why the dramatic drop for 27, 28? Yeah, so how the model works is we look at incoming kindergartners exiting 12th graders, right? So, and really how that would look then is we have higher graduating class and not as high kindergarten classes is really how that works. It'd be interesting to see this slide laid over projections, enrollment projections, like
Actuals
reality versus actual. Do you have that in here?
I do not have that.
Oh, stop.
Sorry.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah. What's in the expenses? This is real top line stuff, but so we know we have another problem here, and the problem is meeting our 55%. So that is a classroom compensation. We also know that we're spending more than we were receiving in revenue. So we really, I've been working with Tino and accounting and the different departments to see what can we look at, in this first interim budget to make reductions to non-classroom compensation in this budget. And we made we've done work there, and so we've kind of made some mid-year cost reductions in these areas, and we're getting better. We're not 100% there. We have more work to do on that. So. The other kind of couple things is, PERS and CERS are just a huge expense to the district. The good news is we don't see those continuing to increase, but along the way it's been a rough ride because those have gone up dramatically over the last 10 years.
And classroom compensation, just to double check my memory, does that include our paras?
It does.
But it does not include our contractors.
Correct.
Okay.
So it includes our teacher salaries, our classified instruction personnel, paraprofessionals, and the benefits associated with those.
Okay.
Big picture revenue. So if you like the graphs, 75% of our money comes from the local control funding formula. That's why we pay a lot of attention to that, and it is enrollment or actually attendance based. 5% of our revenues come from federal, and 16% kind of from other state, typically restricted resources.
Taxpayers.
On the expenditure side, the bottom big slices here are basically personnel costs. We are 74% of our budget goes to people, and those are the slices there. 7% to supplies, 15% to services and operations.
So that is the employee benefits, certified, classified, and certified. Are our contractors in there, or is that other?
They are in the 15% slice.
They're in the classified.
No, so if we contract for services,
I was looking at the other 15%.
It's actually service, yeah.
Okay. So
You're only at 51%.
If you got to do benefits too, right?
Well, if you certificated and classified salaries together, it's 51%.
But not all classified and certificated salaries
Right.
Are
fall
classroom.
within the classroom
Right. So it's even less than 51%.
No. So the bottom three slices: certificated salaries, classified salaries, employee benefits. That's 74%.
The benefits count towards the 55%?
Yes.
But what he's saying, what the 55% is classroom, and some of our classified are like
Right,
lunch
not.
or
bus drivers or custodial or whatever.
Yes, 75% of our expenses are compensation.
Right.
But
I'm asking about the 55% that we have failed to meet for 3 years in a row.
Right.
So where are we on that?
I don't have. We're continuing to work on that. We haven't solved it 100%, and that's what we're working on right now.
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay, so this is our 25-26 breakout of our unrestricted and restricted, and then it looks at the combined budget. If you're looking at all the numbers here, yes, it's a lot of numbers. The unrestricted column is the health of your district. The restricted dollars, we have to spend those dollars in certain areas. So really the health of your district is the unrestricted. The two main numbers to look at here is your change in ending fund balance. There is a $4 million negative number there. At original budget, we were looking at almost a $9 million negative number there. So this is what I'm talking about when we've been looking at doing mid-year budget reductions, getting closer to the 55%. This is some of the work we've been doing. Our ending fund balance is $24 million here on the unrestricted.
So but we have money for buses.
We have money for buses, yes we do. Like I said, the long-term cost of buses is going to be less under the electric program, and I got $24 million sitting on our ending fund balance right there.
Okay, but what I'm asking is isn't that also, because if we do purchase those 19 big chunk, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that going to also affect the 55%? Because that would be a one-time money thing, right?
No, because transportation is there are some exceptions to the 55%, and transportation is one of those exceptions.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Our ending fund balance is a total of almost $61 million. $36 million is restricted. Almost $7 million is required by the state. It's 3% of your expenses. And then $17 million is unassigned at this point. our restricted ending fund balance, we listed out some of the main categories. So we have our Learning Recovery Emergency Block Grant. That is one-time dollars. We need to spend those by 27-28. Expanded Learning Opportunities is basically our after-school program. This has been a challenge for us to spend these dollars, and for almost every district that I have had the opportunity to speak with about this. It's challenging to hire the staff and get those dollars going. We have new Prop 28 dollars, so we have some implementation money, some upfront money, and I know Tino and his crew has been working on developing and expanding those programs. And then we have a special education early intervention preschool grant as well. Then we have some ending fund balance there, and then we have some other stuff. But $36 million is the total restricted ending fund balance. And I think I've taken longer than I was allocated at the time. These are some of the just major assumptions when we look at our multi-year projections. We are required to look at current year plus 2. I actually just noticed an error on this. Our COLA for 25-26 is 2.43. It says 2.3 there. But bottom line is you see our funded average daily attendance is going down slightly over the years. That is different than our enrollment because there's some protections there. We do expect some increases to our per student funding. So the current numbers show 3% next year and 3.4%. I'm getting information that number may be coming down in 26-27 to closer to 2.3%, but we'll see in January when the governor comes out with his recommendations. Okay. Looking at the multi-year projections, the 25-26 is what we've already just discussed. This is just unrestricted. I have another slide on restricted. On the unrestricted, you see kind of get the bottom lines, change in ending fund balance. You see the current year. We've already talked about that $4 million number. 26-27, 27-28, 4.5 deficit spending. 26-27, 1.6 in 27-28. We have not settled for negotiations for those years, so
that could change.
That will change, and also it is challenging in a declining district, declining enrollment district, because you have to manage those expenses on the way down. We do see that even in these projections, without the salary increases, we have ending fund balance at the end of those 3 years of $18 million. Yes.
With California, talk about their deficit. How are we impacted with that?
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is a couple things. One, the state budget is actually doing much better than people were predicting, but they're concerned about it going forward. And so what I think that's going to mean for us in January, when we get a little bit more information, that I would expect us to be fully, I'm hoping, and I expect actually that they're going to fully fund the 40% minimum guarantee and fully fund the increase, the per student increase. I don't think it's going to be 3%. I think it's going to be more in the 2s, but that's what I'm hearing right now is they're going to meet those obligations. I also expect that we'll be receiving some one-time dollars and some one-time grants because what that means is that's kind of their get out of jail free card, but whatever. Right. It's like they don't have to commit to those dollars going forward when they give you one-time dollars. So they just say, well, we had the stock market's doing pretty good. That's where California gets a lot of their dollars. So stock market's doing good. We get a lot of one-time dollars, but they can't count on those dollars every year. So that's why we end up getting these one-off, one-time programs.
Bonuses.
I have one question about declining enrollment. Mm-hmm. With all the different housing developments going in, is there any way we can make a deal with the contractors to put some kind of blurb about how wonderful Yuba City Unified is on the kitchen counter of each house so that they want to bring their kids here?
I don't know the answer to that.
I think that's a good idea. We need recruitment.
Or like
marketing
on the side of the no
yes.
Yeah, I'm not against it.
Well, they kind of do though, and you're looking at a house to buy, and it tells you what school district it's in and how
what
they're
the ratings
doing,
are,
and how the ratings are.
I'm just saying, let's get a little bit more aggressive
I'm
with
just
it.
saying.
Yeah.
There's also some talk when we were at the CSBA recently about moving from ADA to enrollment for funding.
Yeah, I don't know how that changes things. The state still has 40% of the budget goes to, so so they give it to us in a different form. I don't see how that really changes much personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Restricted, not really a lot to go through here. There's intentional spending down of the restricted ending fund balance. So when you see a change in ending fund balance and restricted, that's a good thing. Use those dollars on those students. So
Here to make money.
that's right. The other funds are in good shape. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these, but they are all operating within normal operations. No surprises there. We have ending fund balance. We're not overspending. Just closing thoughts. Just discussed this. The numbers don't include negotiations. Collective bargaining for 26, 27, 27, 28. We are in declining enrollment. You've heard it. Facilities. Facilities is there'll be more to come on this, but we've been looking at our portables and just really saying, okay, how are we going to triage, our portables, 400 portables, and a lot of them are end of life. So there's going to be more to come on that. I'm sure we'll be talking to the board as far as our needed facilities. That is going to have to be fast-tracked, at least having a plan. You can't wait till the last minute on this stuff. You really have to start addressing it. And then just highlighting a need to close the gap between revenues and expenditures and fix our 55% problem. So this is the work. We've done some work to first interim. We've got to do some more work to second interim. And then we need to work as a district to get these numbers in line. So, but the bottom line is we have a positive budget certification, meaning that we can cover our expenses this year for the next 3 years, but we have some hard work and some planning to do.
So of all this, what keeps you up at night?
All of this.
No.
Our facilities is a big one for me. It's such a large dollar amount that this community has put some money into their schools, into some newer schools, but we've got 15, 16 school sites, and a lot of them haven't seen the type that are, and some of them are over 100 years old. Just we haven't put the dollars into those. That takes real money. So.
And property taxes are already like going up and up and up and
not
up.
There's not an easy solution here. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Well, listen, get us at the third interim, all right? This is just the first.
Oh, you don't want a third one.
There's not a third.
One obvious member.
There it is.
Okay.
Do you need action on this?
Yes, I need a motion for approval.
So moved to approve.
A second.
Okay, on a motion by member Cianciola, second by member Pretty, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. E, first reading of BP 3311.5.
Well, I gotta get action on here.
Come on, stop.
Every time one of these comes up, I'm always like, all right, I'm ready for somebody to get up and read it. Sorry. That was my inside voice. Here.
Member Swanson.
Oh. Your name's on the report. I think you need to.
Okay, so I can do this. So the district was requesting, so this dollar amount changes annually, and so it is the current amount, the government limit is $119,100 effective January 1st, 2026. We're asking, this is a first read, do you need it to be? Do you need it to be?
No, I don't need it now, but it's just, just happens every year. There's no fundamental changes to it. It'd be lovely if we could just move forward with
I just have a question before we.
Go ahead, sorry.
What is the benefit?
Of making this change?
Yes, because it's for no bids, right?
Right. So, yeah, the benefit is bids cost money and take time, and it makes it challenging to make purchases on a
Just
regular
because of the time, or
the time, the cost, yes.
what's the cost? I mean, you have to put a request for bid, RFP, right?
You gotta advertise, you typically have to have lawyers involved in developing an RFP, and, you know, I guess those are really it. If we just need to go buy, you know,
Toilet paper,
50 computers,
$118,000 worth of toilet paper, right?
Yeah.
No RFP. Okay, I'm just curious, as far as, that would just, you would have to want to find the best anyway.
That is true. We just don't go. And so, okay, so our practices are absolutely that. Each of our developers and our purchasers are constantly looking for, you know, the best price, the best quality product. They're often going out and double checking and looking at other vendors. This is the official bid process, and this is just a number that's escalated with inflation. It's not
Right.
really,
Yeah, I know. I realize that. I was just curious. I make a motion, we waive subsequent readings and approve.
I'll second that one.
On a motion by Member Ciosuela, second by Member Pretty, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Resolution.
Wait,
Excuse me.
go ahead.
Sorry.
That we could do one motion to waive and then another motion to approve.
Well, I did,
So-
but I just like
It's
all together.
Separate motion?
I make a motion, we waive all subsequent readings.
I'll second that.
Okay, on a motion by Member
The
Susu.
first motion is to waive, the second motion is to approve.
Yes.
Yeah, I just read the waive.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, I make a motion, we approve.
I'll second that one also.
Okay, so on a motion by Member Ciosuela, second by Member Pretty, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. F, resolution of acquisition of real property.
Okay, so I'll explain this and I'll give some information that's not in the staff report here, and then I'll open it up for discussion. So what this resolution is a resolution giving the superintendent authority to enter into a contract to purchase real estate. There are actually two buildings that we have interest in. The one building, suite at 950 Tharp Road, suite 100, 1000, has approximately 6,800 square feet. It's listed for $1,750,000. Suite 1100, the same size, is listed at $1,695,000 for a total purchase price of $3,445,000. And so this resolution would allow us to enter into contracts on those properties. We do expect that there will be a renovation budget here. Don't know exactly what that's going to be. We're hoping it'll be under $2 million. That puts our all-in price at approximately 5.5. But again, some of those are to be determined. And so that's what I have to share.
So I would like to start. First of all, I want to make sure that the public hears and understands that we're looking at purchasing these two buildings to be the new Yuba City Unified District Office. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, thank you.
Secondly, we have property where the old district office sat or sits or what is. And right now it's currently housing our IT department, and we use it for training purposes and all kinds of things. My question would be, why not spend that 5.5 mil renovating and updating what used to be our district office instead of purchasing a new property?
No, that's a good question. And so we have looked at that option, and we have worked with our architects to explore that option. We need approximate space of about 13,000 to house the district staff. And to do that is not just renovating that. If you remember, we had other buildings on that are no longer there. So this would be an addition, an add-on. And the cost of adding that on is between $850 and $1,000 a square foot for building school buildings. So this goes along with the analysis that we had from a different real estate consultant at DCG. And they were estimating that the cost to get in would be between 10 and 14 million to do that. So this is, as an alternative to a build, this is a much, much less expensive, less than half of that cost, and that's the reason why we're pursuing this. And we've been looking for years at this point for a suitable building to get in at a reasonable price point, and it is not easy to do. We've had very limited properties that would suit the needs on, either on a square footage or a price point.
So, and just to carry on, I just want to, I'm asking these questions basically so anybody who might be out there in La La Land and watching us. This building, where we currently are, the lease is up on that a year from now?
Yeah, December of 26, yes.
And so we need, are we looking at being able to move in and take possession of these 2 new buildings for the new district office prior to our lease expiring?
We do absolutely believe that. So the tenants will be out in December now. They're moving out. Actually, we saw them moving out recently. And working with the architect, we would have to fast track, just getting the plans done, and the construction, but we do believe we'll be able to meet that timeline.
Okay.
And this would be a lease, another lease, or an outright purchase?
This is an outright purchase. So this is 2 buildings right next to each other in an office complex, both 6,800 square feet.
Yeah. A lot of parking.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with it.
Yes.
What's our current rent here right now?
Our current rent?
Yes, right now, right here.
Okay, $380-ish plus common fees, so getting up to.
You're talking about per year?
Yeah.
Sublease, right, from
Sublease. So.
And you guys did talk to the owner, and so if we were to get our own lease, how much was that price again?
Well, it was over $600,000. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but it's close to doubling in rent as in December of January.
How much space do we occupy here right now?
About 13,000 square feet.
But we have a lower lease because we're subleasing from Yuba College.
We're
right?
leasing below market because the Yuba College is paying more. It's a losing deal for them.
Yeah. Thanks, Yuba College.
Well, they were not getting any rent before. So.
All right. Any questions?
Who would be doing the construction for us for this new property?
Well, so that's yet to be determined. We'd have to determine that after.
But we have architects.
We have our architects that have taken a look at the building. They say it's feasible from an architectural standpoint, but of course we'd have to get more involved in the actual plans and then get the work done.
So, as I expressed last week, I didn't realize $2 million additional monies to this. Seems like a chunk of change for a property that's already going to be top of the market. So that's my concern right now. I mean, $2 million is the real cost of that.
I don't have a real cost on that.
So is it going to jump to $3 million, $4 million because we don't know?
I don't understand your question.
I don't either.
Well, okay. The current price that you guys are offering, you understand, is going to be full price, which I believe is high. It's top of the market, I believe, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But we're also going to spend an additional $2 million to renovate what's currently there. So the all-in cost, if you're estimating at $5.5 million, is about $404 total per foot. That's estimated. So it seems like we're already at the top of the market. I'm not sure where the $858 to $1,000 comes from. It seems high as well. Doesn't pencil out. So I'm concerned in general with the overall cost of
the 850 to 1,000 comes directly from our real estate consultant and our architects, and also, to be honest with you, I talk to school districts a lot about this because it's a major concern, and I'm not seeing anything for under 850, and they're mostly going in closer to 900 to 1,000 square foot.
But may I ask a question? Mm-hmm. But regardless, when we've been looking at properties, we were going to have to go in and renovate on any building.
On any building that we've been looking at. The strategy was to buy an office building that would have the parking and the general shell, knowing that we would have to do some sort of modification on the interior to make it a school board meeting room, whatever the needs are, right? So we knew there was going to be buying an existing building, there was going to be a buy and a renovation that would be way less expensive than the numbers I was talking about to build. That's why we're going this route.
And who's DCG?
They're a consulting firm.
Is that Landis?
That's Landis.
Do we have any property, real property that we don't have any foreseeable use for that we might be able to sell to offset the cost?
That's a great question. We do, yes. So we have a couple properties, 30 acres off of Bogue, and I don't know if that's the ideal location or not. We'd have to do that analysis, but we definitely have excess property that we can sell to offset the cost of this, and that would be, consideration for the board.
Any other questions? No? Can I get a motion to approve then?
So moved.
Second.
On a motion by member Ciola, second by member Bonslett, all those in favor?
Aye.
I say no.
Okay, and so that's a no.
A no.
So passes with 5 yeses and 1 no. And member Tomlinson.
Thank you.
Okay. Board reports, information, discussion.
Twin Rivers. We last week attended and we did the governor's handbook. They approved the updated school bylaws. They also did changing organization of the president, secretary, chief financial officer. Presidents and vice president, secretary. And what else was exciting? I'll let that be, since everyone's looking at me. That's it.
Okay.
Well, everyone's also quiet looking at me.
Well, yeah, because you've got the floor.
I know.
Talk to us, Goose.
It's already late, let's go.
Okay, written communication from the public, there are none. Comments from employee reps.
It's a Top Gun reference.
Yay!
I wasn't.
He stuck it out all this time.
I couldn't believe I just showed up. I mean,
You showed up early too.
I did. Well, if you're not early, then you're late. So,
There you go.
thank you guys. I'm here, Josh Roberts. I'm the treasurer for YCTA, so just stepping in for our president, Heather Fee. So I have a few concerns, and then I have a few just shout-outs and stuff like that. So we had Rep Council on Monday, and so some concerns that were brought to us is TK concerns. Restroom access and just ratio of kids to stalls. Heather put down that she was meeting tomorrow with Richter to discuss toileting concerns, and he has been responsive and just would like a written version of the plan available to share with all the staff. So that's with our TK kids, like whose job is it to help them if they need help in the restroom and stuff like that. Staff restroom access at Gray is a concern. I just don't think they have adequate staff, or maybe they're not open all the time. So that was a concern that we got, was that just at Gray Avenue.
Like the restrooms aren't
Yeah.
open all the time?
Or they just need more. So,
For the staff.
yes. Yeah, that was what Heather shared with me. Music department, so something looking forward to in the coming years, maybe even next year, maybe for negotiations, who knows. Would like to work on a plan for elementary music teachers to provide additional prep time for teachers. And we understand it's also difficult to get subs for music, but that would be awesome if we could provide more preps. And I even thought, I know that music right now just goes, I think it's like K3, or maybe there is some for 4 or 5 and stuff like that, but maybe even incorporating some digital literacy, or just some getting kids some foundational skills on technology. Like in some other districts, they have kids that go to a computer class. You know what I mean? So just looking for additional ways. Like as a high school teacher, I get a prep every single day, and it's amazing. It allows me to catch up on things if I'm not selling my prep, which I'm currently selling my prep because I'll just work earlier or work later and stuff like that. But having that prep during the day, that plan, I think would just be super helpful for our TK. basically K through 5. I think they probably have one of the hardest jobs in our entire district. So,
Thank you.
100%. 100%.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. I just teach math. I mean, I try to convince people to like something that
I teach 3rd grade. No,
Yeah.
I taught 3rd grade, yeah.
you're amazing. You're amazing.
She still does it in her dreams.
But we do have some shout outs too. Shout out Denise Hardin's Christmas store for AP students to give gifts to their families. So she actually has a store in the class that kids can actually come and get gifts to then give to their family. So she's kind of set that all up over at Albert Powell. So that was awesome. We heard about that the other day. Hope Alley's class at River Valley, they actually put on this poorly drawn pet pictures. So people could submit that they wanted their pet to be drawn. They would send a picture of the pet, and they called it poorly drawn pets. And they charged $5, and it went to a donation towards. So it was a fundraising opportunity for the Yuba-Sutter Animal Shelter.
Maybe we should do that for funding our buildings.
So that was super cool.
$5 for a badly drawn, like not even.
That's funny.
Not an oil painting, people. AI did not do this. So sorry.
No, for sure. Ashley Newman at River Valley Debate is just rocking tournaments. So they're doing a wonderful job there. So we kind of heard some praise about that. And Peter Pan play at Barry in January. Super excited for that. Also, shout out to Dora Nasumi. I brought a concern to her. Well, I brought a concern to Esperanza, who then forwarded it to Doreen, and then she got back to us just at Yuba-Sutter High School in the 800 pod. We actually had a building where they had to turn the heat off because I think there was a gas leak. So they've been without heat. They got space heaters, but it's still really cold this time of year. So hopefully, looking forward to finding out like some timelines and like when that'll be fixed. So because having a space heater, I mean, it's not ideal. You know what I mean? When they're walking in, it's like 50 degrees at the start of the day. So, cool. I think that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thanks for letting me.
Is a scientifically proven fact.
Okay,
Because
any
you're selling
comments from board
instructions to
members?
I recently went to the grad committee meeting, and I'm probably not going to be the most popular with some of my former math colleagues. I'm taught English, but one of the things that's resonated with me ever since I went to that meeting was I was told that other countries have a 3 or 4 year math requirement. And I agree that that's true, but other countries also separate their educational system. Some students are going more towards an academic diploma where they'll be going on to university. Others go on a completely separate track where they're going into trades. And I think their two tracks have completely different graduation requirements. And I'd like us to remember that moving forward as to how much math do we really expect our kids to have as a graduation requirement. Those students who are going to go to a university will obviously, in order to be competitive, will go for the 3 and 4 years of mathematics or 4 and 5 years of English if they could take 2 English classes in their senior year. So those kids that are motivated to move straight to university are always going to take the more challenging courses. My question is, do we really want to further frustrate some of our students who struggle academically by putting another requirement on them just to get a high school diploma? So that's my question on that.
It'd be so cool if there was like a graduated kind of like different kinds of diplomas like you have in college where
right,
you
a BA or a BS or whatever.
Yeah, and then you've got a high school diploma that's like a CTE emphasis high school diploma and
right. So I just don't want to see, because I taught from, a general ed senior English class where the counselors would come in and talk about four-year university and all the students would completely shut down because they had no interest in it. And I also taught the AP students who that was their jam and they couldn't wait to talk more about universities. So I just hate to see us putting requirements on all students when those requirements would not necessarily benefit all students. So here I am. And I just ticked off a few of my
I'm looking at Josh's
face.
We had this conversation earlier of how there needs to be math classes for non-STEM people because a lot of math classes are for STEM people.
Right.
Well, and there's math in
Construction.
Everything.
Well, there is,
Most of the math
but
classes are
practical math.
focused towards
Right.
STEM.
Learning how
I never
to do
did
linear
that.
pairs is not something most kids ever need to know how to do.
Tangents, cosines.
Right.
Like I never needed pre-calc, and I'm sorry, but I did take this class and I failed miserably, but I never needed it in college. So.
I'm popular in that.
I don't think you became a math teacher to be popular, just saying.
Okay. Comments from superintendent?
Yeah, well, thank you. So, in speaking to some of the discussion today, we have board committees, and we will be dusting off the budget priority committee. And currently, we have one member, Shelley, is on that, and so there are 2 spots if anyone else would like to sit on the budget priority committee. The other thing we will be dusting off is our facilities committee, and currently Greg sits on that committee, and so there are 2 spots open there, and so I believe the plan is that you will start some of those meetings after the first of the year. To start getting direction on facilities and giving some updates about where we are, the master facility plan, and then budgets moving forward as we plan, as you shared in the first interim. You know, there's some unknowns, but we are tightening our belts now, but we anticipate there may be some need to do some additional tightening of that belt. And then also, I just like to do a shout out to Laura Broad, who's supposed to wear her crown. As I stepped into the superintendent's office, and she has been my right-hand person, and we have been through thick and thin, and she's showing me her Airstreams, and her plans, and so thank you to Laura Broad for all she's done for Unified, for me personally, for the governing board. You've taken very good care of us, so thank you.
Thank you very much.
We love you,
We love
Laura. Let the record show we love you.
Yeah, this is from everybody on the board. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No, we appreciate. We need a picture.
We need a picture with all of us.
Oh, that's
Guys, we still have some stuff.
Yeah,
Just letting
so
you
take
know.
a picture.
But it's
I know,
actually
we've got the
good.
financial thing.
Here, Laura, we have Laura's still doing her job. Cracking that whip.
Hey, I'd like to volunteer for the budget committee.
Okay, I will put you on there.
I knew Scott would.
Yay! That's why you're the president.
I know this one is also the district level.
I'm turn this over to you.
That's where everybody is. I forgot my crown.
Aw,
Yay,
we
Laura.
see it.
Oh, stop telling me what to do.
I know, it's soft too. It's fine, soft surroundings.
All right, now we have to recess to the financing corporation meeting.
Let's go.
Okay. This meeting. Alrighty, let's see.
This is Scott's meeting.
Scott.
Scott's
All right.
World, Scott's World, party on, excellent.
All right. Financing
Thank you.
corporation
Thank you.
purpose and financial status.
Okay, so we do this meeting once a year. This organization is for one purpose only, and that is to do what's called a certificate of participation, which is a form of debt, and it's a lease-back situation. So what that means is we lease to the corporation, we lease it back, and that's the dollars going back and forth. But hold on, I think, oh yeah, that's the financial, so that's just the information on it. Hold on, let me get to that specifics. Okay. So just, that's the financial purpose. The financial status I kind of incorporated in here as well, and that is, again, we've done some financings in the past to fund facility improvements. The most recent one we did was for the solar project. So that's the bullet 2 is essentially the $33 million to fund the solar, and it's paid for out of the savings from energy cost reductions. So that's the financial update there, and that's just an informational report.
May I just make note, Madam President, that Member Donnie is absent from this financial corporation meeting, just to go on record.
Okay. Can I get approval? So action 3.1, approval for the minutes from last year's 2024 meeting and the January 2025 corporation meeting.
So moved.
Second.
On a motion by member Ciociola, second by member Pretty, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Reorganization of the YC Unified Finance Corporation.
So all that is we are taking action that puts you all as the trustees of this corporation as well.
I make a move that we approve.
Second.
On a motion by member Ciociola, second by member Pretty, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. The next board meeting for this one will be next December. Can I get a motion to adjourn this one? And
So
go
moved.
Back.
I second.
On a motion by member Ciociola, second by member Pulte, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, going back.
We adjourn the other.
Recalling
Somebody please
back
take
to the
picture
governing board
prints.
meeting. Next board meeting for this one will be in January at 7. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I second.
On a motion by member Ciociola, second by member Lamb, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Before anybody leaves, Laura needs signatures on papers.
Not for me though.
No, she needs them from everybody. This
Oh,
is
but I
our-
didn't do it. I have nothing to report for 700. Is that what this is?
No, this is our signatures for approval for.
Of the financing.
Yuba-Sutter.Live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Hi, I'm Neil Goforth of Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties. Caring for elders or even yourself has challenges. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties can help you address today's issues and plan for tomorrow with in-home and specialized care for you or your family members. Call us at 530-749-8800. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties.
In Yuba County, there's a legendary diner.
Oh, it looks delicious. Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Where the parking lot tells a story. A story as simple as biscuits and gravy.
The food is good. The prices are wonderful. My dad has so many friends here that come here, and it's my dad and mom have known Mary Jane and her dad before Duke.
Duke's Diner on 7th Avenue, home of legendary chili, holiday pies, and generations of local residents preparing tasty, hearty food for generations of local people. Join Mary Jane and her genial associates as they serve meals you'll come back for. Duke's Diner on 7th Avenue, Olivehurst. This week on Yuba-Sutter.Live, lots of live streams, beginning with Government Watch, presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage at plumaslakeselfstorage.com. On Thursday, it's the Olivehurst Public Utilities District regular monthly meeting. Then, on Saturday, December 20th, it's the Sutter Parade of Lights, as Christmas in Yuba-Sutter continues, presented by Comfort Keepers of Yuba-Sutter and Nevada counties. Sunday, December 21st, the 6 p.m. Sutter Parade of Lights replay here on Yuba-Sutter.Live. Tuesday and Thursday, Government Watch. And then Christmas in Yuba-Sutter. That's happening this week, right here on Yuba-Sutter.Live.
Yuba-Sutter.Live. It's the truth that comes through. Yuba-Sutter Live. It's the truth that comes through.